black pulp, a messy black pulp. Hey everybody, welcome to this episode of Done Better, the internet review show where I, your host, David Tennant, try and fix movies after the fact using my thinking brain. I was waist deep in a sea of Batman v Superman v Man v Steel horse shit for you folks when this atrocity gurgled to the surface and slapped me in the face, so f*** it, we're gonna do it first. Suicide Squad, Done Better.
Behold the voice of God.
Hi, Billy Mays here for OxyClean, the stain specialist. Powered by the air you breathe, activated by the water that you and I drink. It's Mother Nature approved, then it's safe on your colored fabrics.
I'm sorry,
It has the power of bleach without the damaging side effects of chlorine. Long live your laundry. OxyClean, the stain specialist.
There's your pep talk.
Hashtag Squad Goals came out of the gate screaming at us that it had promise, that it was new and different from the slog of murky gray DC films that Zack Snydered their way across our cultural landscape. I was initially skeptical of the mind-blowing, funny, less depressive trailers for this film. And guess what? I had every right to be. I have it on record. Go look up the Sackcast Movie Pod. You can hear me guess it's gonna be shit. So how could a film with so much promise fail so f***ing hard? The funny thing is, it didn't have to. You hear me, guys? As much as I'm worn out by these superhero films, they don't have to be bad. He gave the reins to David Ayer. He's made some decent films before. Probably. You had an interesting enough premise and set of characters to play with. You had all the financial resources WB could shit on top of you, so what happened? I'll tell you what I think happened. I don't think the characters make a lot of sense. They swing between how the character they created should actually act, and how the movie needs that character to act at any given point to service the schlocky, bullshit, ballless plot. Hashtag ball shaming. I think this movie had a lot of interesting twists that they untwisted and presented to us at the beginning of the film. Have you ever had untwisted crazy bread from Little Caesars before you even order the pizza? No, because that's called normal bread, and it's boring. It's white, and it's boring, and it breaks your Little Caesar heart. I think that they hired a pretty respectable director and writer with a very established style who took this big ship in a direction everyone agreed they were going to take it. But halfway to the mainland, they decided they'd rather be flying, so they asked him to convert the ship into an airplane, threw his crew overboard, and handed him a bunch of freelance drone pilots to help him build it. That analogy doesn't make a lot of sense, but neither does hiring a man to make you a bazillion-dollar movie, then telling him how to do his job. This film feels like it was created by a boardroom of two-faced schizophrenic villains, flipping nickels and demanding new edits.
We have got company. Taxi. That's ruining date night!
Number 1, character overhaul. You have what can actually be called a squad of interesting, evil, insane, and this boomerang guy characters covering the screen of your film. How about you actually use that for, plot, interactions, dialogue, or just entertainment? None of them act like they're advertised, or even how the characters themselves understand themselves. Is Deadshot the most infamous assassin in the world seeking revenge against the Batman, or the world's worst dad? This movie wants you to invest in both, but doesn't have you believing in either. Number 2, don't spoil the spoilers. I am not a pessimist. Probably. I firmly believe that there's a fleeting glimpse of a movie somewhere in this misshapen homunculus of a film. The problem is they take all those interesting bits and lay them out for you within the first 20 minutes, leaving us with nothing to expect for the rest of the film. Number 3, let the writer write. I feel like these first two wouldn't have even been a problem if you let the guy you paid to write the film what he wrote, then put that film out there for us. Unfortunately, that doesn't seem to be the case, and instead I have to spend a Saturday night alone in an empty office, wearing no pants, fixing script issues that probably didn't exist in an initial cut of this film. But nobody said this job would be easy, or that I would get paid in anything other than pussy. Am I right? I'm definitely not right. I'm wrong on that.
Hey, Angelo.
Hello?
This is the exterminator you called for your rat problem?
Yeah?
Account's looking a little thin.
Well, I assume that you get rid of the rats and then I pay you, right? That's pretty
Nope,
normal.
that's not the rules. No money, no honey.
You want me to pay you before you kill the
Whoa,
rats?
here's your boy right now.
Are you in my house already?
With about 20 of his new best friends.
Jesus Christ, 20? I only thought there was like 2. How fast do they breed?
I'm still seeing zeros over here, Angie.
Yeah, man, I can pay you now.
Look, they're taking him out of the car now. In about 30 seconds, your window is going to close forever.
Why are there rats in a car?
Number 1, let's be clear, the characters in this film make no sense. There were like 9 of them, probably. Of the 9, I understood 1. I think I understood 1 guy, which is mind-boggling because we spent a lot of time getting to know these people up front. The setup is easy. A troop of villains are conscripted into doing work for the government. We've seen Dirty Dozen. We get it. I mean, I haven't seen it, but you get it. So who are they? Look, I don't have time to go through all the hashtag squad, but I'll give you some fixes on the main 3 to show you how easy this is if you give it a little thought. Will Smith is a world-class badass asshole getting paid $2 million a pop. He's also a caring dad who can't seem to solve this irresponsible ex-wife with a deadbeat new boyfriend shtick. Those can go together, but that's a hard sell. He's in jail because the Batman got him. So why wouldn't he shoot Harley to get all the money he needs to secure his daughter? Why would he develop this understanding with Lieutenant Methhead? If he's really just interested in being a good dad, why is his vision of killing the Batman the insight into his character we get at the end? Harley Quinn is a strong female character who just wants to get back to her, yeah, I'll say it, puddin', and she will use whatever means she can to find that scene-chewing asshole. This includes swinging a bat, sassafrassin, and letting the camera drool over her while she dresses in front of everyone. This also includes abandoning them on a rooftop minutes before risking it all to fight an Aztec monster at the end. Her dream life is of a Leave It to Beaver pipe dream, so why does she pine for a green-haired stick anyway? Is she insane and in love with a psycho by choice, or did he electrocute her brain? Do we want her to get back with him? I mean, he shocked her brain and offered her up to Common like a sex toy. It's always interesting when a movie has the audience rooting for the villain, and few films pull it off. It's a challenge. This movie didn't pull it off for shit. How cool would it have been to be rooting for all these characters, despite their many flaws? But at least we can root for the heroes, right? Lieutenant Methhead is a no-nonsense, by-the-books, hard-ass military grunt who cares for 2 things, the mission and the men at his side. He's made hard choices in the past. He's seen the hellish world we occasionally inhabit. But he also needs to bend over backwards to justify saving a possessed archaeologist. He's got the strict gumption and explosive collars to keep a posse of super baddies in line, but he also doesn't seem to mind too much and actually later befriends the pigtailed one when she breaks ranks and runs off with a scene-chewing dumbass who literally shoots his men to death with their own hijacked minigun. Love. She's a wicked mistress, my friend. Or a wicked enchantress. Do you see what I'm getting at here? You establish these characters as one thing, then seemingly forget what you did with them to get to the next scene, or for a cool set piece. Here's an idea to help build these characters better. See all these fucking soldiers hanging around the hashtag squad? Why the fuck are they there? We spent all this time with Eastwood and his soldier fodder milling around and shooting at things when we could be using that valuable screen time watching the interactions between the female clown, the useless one, and the ad for Foster's. I'd much rather be watching these characters interact and become actual characters than spend several minutes watching soldiers I know nothing about tromp around and get taken out by ward zombies. I mean, I thought the whole point of them being a hashtag squad was because the squad themselves were the expendable ones. Look, all I'm asking for is some consistency. I hate to go back to this movie again as an example, but it looks like I'm going to anyway.
We get back to Haven in a few hours'
Oh
time.
yeah, hiding under the shepherd's skirts. That's a manful scheme.
You want to run this ship?
Yes.
Well, you can't.
Why does that work? Because it's 2 defined characters interacting in a naturalistic way based on their personalities. There's, you know, tension there. All the groundwork was in place in hashtag squad goals. Yeah, just forgot about it. Captain Boomerang walks away the moment his collar is turned off. There we go. That makes sense. That's what his characters wanted since the get-go. But what happens in the next scene? He ends up coming back in a slow motion walk because the t-shirt at Hot Topic wouldn't sell so well if he didn't join the final fray, I guess. Basically, it's shit like that. That's the problem.
You set him up and I'll knock him back, Lloyd. One by one. White man's burden.
Well, we almost pulled it off.
I did hurt him once, okay?
Worst part of it is they're gonna blame us for the whole thing.
It was an accident. I love the little son of a bitch.
Don't forget, we're the bad guys.
Are you out of your fucking mind?
On to number 2. Not understanding what makes these characters tick was at least interesting to watch. The plot. Well, the plot had a completely opposite problem. So somewhere around the 19th edit of this film, someone around a boardroom decided that the movie would play better if every twist and turn was laid out and explained in the first half hour of the film. I'm not kidding. The stuff that would have kept you interested in this movie is spelled out for you between mouthfuls of steak dinner and heavy-handed exposition. I don't think that bored look on Amanda Waller's face was acting. That's how I looked in the theater. But as quickly as I can, Amanda Waller is assembling a team of never-do-wells in the hope that their superhuman hijinks cut the next supernatural threat off before it happens. It's the Nick Fury thing, but she's a lady, and they're really wanting me to believe that she's way more badass than Sam Jack. Good luck with that. The leader of this presumed hashtag squad is your classic love story of a man, a woman, a parasitic Aztec god, and the callous government lady that matched them up. The Romeo and Quetzalcoatl team are the meat and potatoes of the team, with the Crocodile Man, Taco Johnny Torch, Harley Quinn, and Deadbeat Shot playing support. But whoops! Before she really has a chance to seal the official deal, the Aztec god escapes, wakes up her brother, and begins terrorizing the city. It's up to the lady to somehow convince the Pentagon that this super baddie team is necessary to fight the evil that she already created in the beta test. If this isn't making sense, don't worry, it doesn't. There's also a heart and a briefcase MacGuffin in there somewhere that can somehow kill her, but at the same time doesn't kill her. We know all of this within the first 20 minutes. There's montages and flashbacks galore as we cram in stuff and fidget and smush all this plot into the first half hour, leaving the rest of the movie to play out like a level in Streets of Rage. Seriously, there's one thing left for the audience to discover over the course of this film, and that's some chicken shit little who are they actually trying to rescue bit. Here's this same film done better. The film opens with an Aztec enchantress and her bro attacking the subway, beginning their terrible siege away from the city directly. He's Cronenbergering people into a messy black pulp, and she's turning them into warp monsters. It's all very traumatic and scary. Meanwhile, we cut to Waller, who's somewhat aggressively pushing this whole we need a badass team of bad guys to fight off supernatural threats in case there are more. And I really have a strong reason to believe that there will be more. I just have that feeling. They approve because of course they do. She's a badass. And suddenly Lieutenant Methhead is on some black site prison yard recruiting the worst of the worst. Keep those moments where we actually see the characters living in jail. Those are good. Lose the flashbacks and Guy Ritchie freeze frames and just let us see these people in their cells interacting with this military guy making them an offer they can't refuse. Suddenly there's a city under attack. Suddenly they gotta go in and rescue someone. Who are they rescuing? Twist! It's the lady on the iPad who strapped bombs onto your neck. Who is attacking the city? Twist! The Aztec lady is actually the prototype version of the Suicide Squad that went rogue and is looking for revenge. Why is Lieutenant Methhead such a single-minded asshole, callously heading up this Suicide Squad and watching all these once civilians die horrifically? Twist! Because he's actually in a relationship with the Enchantress's alter ego. Twists! Learning things with rising complications and new information reveals as we go. Wow, what a thing! Twists keep the audience interested in ways that overblown action set pieces and CGI fight scenes can't do. They also reinforce characters better. You want to make Amanda Waller seem like a manipulative, ruthless character? Don't have her shoot a room full of FBI agents she presumably hired. Have her pitch an idea to the Pentagon about supernatural threats looming on the horizon. Threats only she knows actually exist because she unwittingly created them.
Yes, sir. Cooked is most definitely what I should have said. Do excuse me, please. How would you like those steaks cooked?
Worst of the worst.
Well, just knock its horns off, wipe its nasty old ass, and chunk it right down on the plate.
Same for me, please.
Oh, thank you, dear.
Bon appetit.
I want to assemble a task force of the most dangerous people on the planet.
Do we have a deal?
You know, I know this steak doesn't exist.
Let's just say I put them in the hole and throw away the hole. They're bad guys.
Jesus Christ, Pepper. Ow! We're in New York City. This shit don't fly around here. Whoa! Please?
And number 3. Hollywood has never been an easy industry. Hell, I can give you first-hand accounts of its rusted-up inner workings. But despite its flaws, there's a common consistency in Hollywood, and that's its ability to meddle. Obviously, I'm basing my critique and reconstruction of this film in relation to what was shown to me in theaters, because that was the film as they presented it. Yeah, that's what they went with, apparently. But despite this, it's pretty hard not to tell this movie was butchered pretty thoroughly in post-production. But, for the sake of argument, let's imagine the script was based on what we saw, and not what David Ayer probably actually wrote and filmed. So, now that the groundwork has been laid with Fix 1 and Fix 2, let's land this biplane. Oh, fuck. Why the fuck do the first 45 minutes of this movie exist? We're introduced to the main hashtag squad members no less than 3 times a piece, often in a row. They eat steaks, talk about the squad, move somewhere else to likely eat more steaks, talk about the squad. Then we go to prison and talk to the squad. Look, we don't need our hands held here. I don't need to know how Crocodile Dundee got put in prison by the Flash. I'm okay with that guy showing up and having his character and past suddenly revealed to us through interactions with these other weird characters and through his own words and actions. That goes for everyone. Basically, as I mentioned with Fix number 2, lob out basically the first 45 minutes and suddenly we are forced to meet these characters in prison. They're all pulled out of their cells, given guns and ammo, and told they will be killed if they don't work together to accomplish the goal. Isn't that a more fucking interesting movie? A bunch of villains, killers, and psychopaths getting forced together, slowly figuring each other out over the course of the film. I don't need video game stats and Amanda Waller eating fucking steaks. I want to be thrown into the fray and experience who these characters are from the characters themselves. You know what the first 45 minutes felt like? It felt like a trailer. A really long trailer. I wonder why that is. I wonder why the first half of the movie is butchered up and shoved full of catchy-ass tunes. You think maybe it's because they hired the people who made the trailer to go back and take whatever David Ayer was doing and cut it up to do the Ultramaster's bidding? Yes, yeah, that's exactly what happened. Man, sure would have been interesting to see the, actual version of the script on screen. the version they hired this man to make. All I can say is this is a filmmaker with a unique vision and a specific style of writing and directing. We can see it in Fury, End of Watch, and Training Day. Let him make the movie. You know what? Maybe some people would have been turned off by that film. Maybe people were sick of DC films being so gritty, but at least it probably would have been some sort of film. Well, folks, there you have it. Hashtag squad goals done better. I kind of want a hug. But before we go, let's talk our little bits and pieces. Small things I believe would have made this atrocity even better. Get rid of Jared Leto. Got sick of hearing about his Joker. Was sick of him in the movie, and now I'm sick of hearing about him after the fact. Get him out of there.
What are you gonna do? Are you gonna kill me, Mr. J?
Why is everyone okay with Amanda Waller? I know she's supposed to be a badass, but she murders all these people she hires. Kind of disappears from the film for a while. Is it too much to ask for strong female characters at work?
We've just been hacked. Could be worse than Snowden. Facial recognition got a hit. Jason Christ, that's Jesus. Bourne.
Enchantress, guys. Enchantress.
Dr. Moon.
I think you guys know what's coming.
Hi. Thank you for waiting.
You're late.
I was in the club.
This is Katana. He's got my back. He can cut all you in half with one sword stroke, just like mowing the lawn.
The Japanese sword will protect you in fights and is sure to make you an eye-catcher at any party.
I would advise not getting killed by her. Her sword traps the souls of its victims.
This high-quality plastic weapon is a Japanese longsword which will look just perfect with your traditional Japanese hakama.
Harley Quinn, nice to meet ya.
Hi.
Love your perfume. What is that? The scent of death?
Yeah, I feel like I'm gonna be sick. Paste down my face, my hair, on my shirt. Dripping.
Whoa, easy, cowgirl. Ain't that kind of a mission. Have a seat.
And I still look at her, and she looks at me. Enough.
He seems nice.
Well, everybody, thanks for joining me on another episode of Done Better so I could talk about this horrible piece of shit. Have you guys noticed that in every live-action version of the Joker, there's like this common thread? I'm not dissing Heath Ledger here. I actually really appreciate the guy's performance, but he still does a similar thing to what Jared Leto does. Modern live-action Joker performances are all about exhaling a lot. I'm gonna show you what I mean. I'm gonna regret it later. Let's put a smile on that face. They're always exhaling out of their mouths. And then Jared Leto, his Joker, is doing the same thing as exhaling. So it's Harley Quinn. I'm gonna hurt you real bad. I'm exhaling. See, I did those shitty impressions, and I didn't have to send a used condom to my cameraman. I mean, I did. I didn't have to. I'm done with this.